Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Secunda, and today I'm going to be sharing how to get a tattoo in Buscalan. So, as soon as you fly into the Philippines, you're most likely going to be flying into Manila. Manila is like the New York of the Philippines in the idea where it's the asphalt jungle, there's big skyscrapers, there's lots of taxis, lots of everything. So, step by step, you land in Manila. First things first, you should be downloading the app Grab. Grab is going to save your wallet and save you so much extra money and so much extra time. The taxis are going to try and take advantage of you 1000%. I know this because I spent 2 weeks in Cebu, Philippines, and I used Grab. Everything was all good. And then I flew into Manila, and against my better judgment, as soon as I was on my way out, I saw the Grab, and I was like, okay, great, waiting for it to pick me up. The problem was that there were so many people booking Grabs because they just flew in that the prices were a lot higher than normal. So this guy came up to me and he said, oh, I could take you there for 200 pesos less, which in my mind I'm thinking, great, awesome. That's about how much it costs usually to get a Grab. So we get in the taxi, and as soon as we get there, he wanted to charge 200 pesos per kilometer, which if you've never been to the Philippines, that is very, very, very expensive and very high. Usually for the local rate, it's 50 pesos. So always use Grab. Always go the smartest route, and it can guarantee that you're safe because if at any point during the trip you feel unsafe, you can just click the button and then it immediately cancels it, or it notifies local authorities. So make sure that you're booking on Grab or Bolt. Anyways, you usually want to take the bus to Bontoc, or you could go to Banawe. Banawe is the beautiful rice terraces. I've been there. It's absolutely amazing. However, if you're going to Bontoc, you're going to see rice terraces anyway. So don't feel the need to stop in Banawe and see the rice terraces like you're not going to see any on your way to Buscalan. You are going to see plenty of rice terraces on your way up those mountains into Bontoc. But once you get to Bontoc, you're about 10 to 12 hours into your bus ride. There's going to be multiple stops along the way, so don't feel like you need to pack everything and more. I do suggest that you stop and grab yourself some money out of the ATM before you hop on the bus and a couple of snacks if you don't want to pay the extra prices for the bus stops along the way. Generally, if you are at a bus stop, they'll ask for 5 to 10, maybe at most 15 pesos for you to use the bathroom, which is the equivalent of 10, 15 cents USD. So don't feel like it's going to be a big issue. Just have a little bit of change and have some cash on you. Everybody else there on their way to Bontoc is going to have cash on them because they know that there isn't easy access to the card readers and regular in-city antics. Once you get to Bontoc, you're going to get off the bus, and generally it's going to be early morning, so you're going to go to the local jeepney, which is, I'd want to say, about a 5 to 10 minute walk down the road to the left if you're going off the bus. And there's going to be every 30-minute increments where jeepneys are taking. Now, there was a stigma that I did not understand until I got to the Philippines, and it is Filipino timing. Everybody from the Philippines that watches this video absolutely understands what I'm talking about. But it's the idea where they will not leave until whatever public transportation is full. So if they say they're leaving at 7:30, that means that if at 7:30 only about half the jeepney is full or half the bus is full, guess you're waiting until the entire thing is going. But that is the idea, to get people to arrive by that certain time so that they can catch the jeepney or catch the bus. So once you've hopped on the jeepney, even if it is full in the bottom part, they will put people on the roof and you will hang on to a bar and they will take you while you're hanging on the roof, which, by the way, is a totally fun, amazing time if you can handle it, because you are looking over a 100 to 200 foot ravine, and if you fall off of that jeepney, you are going to die. But I digress. You get on the jeepney in Bontoc and you travel about 30, maybe 45 minutes north through the mountains into a little stop station where there will be military personnel who will ask you to basically sign in, and then they will take you on a trike or on a second jeepney up to the base of the mountain. Now, it's going to be about 2,000 steps from the base all the way up to Buscalan village. There's a huge ravine that overlooks this amazing water pocket, this river basically. And there is just the greatest view that you will absolutely love, no matter who you are. If you've traveled all the way out there, you are a nature lover. Nobody thinks, oh, I'm going to go to the Philippines to live 5-star. But anyways, you're at the base of the mountain, and they're going to ask you to sign in a second time. Basically, this is telling them, okay, if you fall off the edge, they're not liable, because even in the Philippines, they have that level of authority and concern over tourists, because foreigners coming into the country are definitely going to cause more of a risk than a local taking a risk. Now, as soon as you sign that, if you have already communicated with somebody on Facebook or online about being your guide all the way up, then you will meet up with them, they will take you up, and then they will take care of you. But don't be concerned if you haven't talked to anybody or if you don't trust anybody. Nobody should be asking you for money up front if they say that they're an online tour guide. You should pay there and after everything is all the way through. But you will communicate with them. There's a bunch of guides just waiting there that live in the village that know it like the back of their hand. There's people going up and down those stairs multiple times every day. And you get to choose between going up on this pulley system that is tied to an old van tire, or you can make the hike, which I highly suggest taking the hike all the way up there. I'm a bit of a huskier guy, and I was able to go up there just fine, just had to take a couple of rests. But you'll start off by going across this bridge that goes over that ravine. It's absolutely breathtaking. I felt completely safe when I was going over it. You will go up these carved stone steps that take you all the way up to the village, to where there is a bunch of houses and there are homestays. Now, the homestays aren't exactly the most elegant. However, they definitely are what they say they are. They make you feel at home. They are going to bring you in. They'll talk about dinner. Now, a couple of concerns that you might have is about the water. They have a little gift shop that doesn't just sell gifts. It also sells candies. It sells water bottles. It sells everything that you need. And they also have alcohol available if you are older and you want to drink. I remember drinking Red Horse at the top at that elevation, and one big Red Horse got me messed up. So let's not go back to that, but you will meet some amazing people. I met a German and a Canadian. Shout out to my travel trio. We ended up going over to Sagada and seeing the hanging coffins the next day. So it was pretty cool to meet some people that were familiar in my situation, where they don't exactly get the most tourism during monsoon season. So we were special guests at that point. Mark was absolutely amazing. He was my friend's, the Canadian's homestay owner, and he was just super friendly, super nice. We ended up drinking with them. I got in their kitchen and I cooked up dinner even though they offered, and we all drank together. We all played guitar. It was a really good time. And what they'll do is they'll basically, your guide will either set you up with a tattooer or will themselves be a tattoo artist. They'll give you a bunch of different options. This is the one specifically right here, not the 3 dots, but this part. This is the mark of the traveler, but they will call it the mark of the crab. And Then they will put a dot for how many people that you came with. I traveled across the Philippines alone, so I got a singular dot. And then they will schedule your appointment with Apo Whang Od, which will give you the 3 dots, which is the signature that everybody I'm sure watching this video is looking to get. Now, I have been back for about 3.5 months, and my 3 dots are still scarred and still recovering. It is not a fun process. On the pain scale, I've gotten multiple tattoos. On the pain scale, I would say the tattoo that the younger guide that gave me this one was only about a 3 on my pain scale. These were a solid 7. It will 100% hurt because Apo is 109 years old and she doesn't understand depth perception that much. So she is going to go deeper than your normal tattoo parlor that has a gun and it barely goes underneath the skin. So prepare yourself for a little bit of pain. Now, they will try and push more tattoos on you, but they're not going to be overly pushy. If you say no 2 or 3 different times, they'll get the hint and they won't push it anymore. At the top of the mountain, mind you, smoking marijuana in the Philippines is completely illegal. But once you get up there, they do grow their own marijuana. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I quit smoking so that I could go into the Air Force. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, go up there. Do not bring any back. Do not take it with you. There will be military personnel still at that entryway when you're on your way out. And if they get any hints that you are bringing something back into the country, deeper into the country, they are going to give you troubles and struggles. So just not a good decision. Now, when it comes to the room, you're probably just going to have a mattress that's on the floor and a fan. There's not any TVs anywhere. The villagers are electronically advancing, so they're probably, I'd say, about 5 to 7 years behind the United States in the idea where they all have phones, but they're all not 4K. We're probably looking at about 1080 pixels. They do have Wi-Fi that is available for purchase, so you do not lose internet once you get into Buscalan, but between Bontoc and getting into Buscalan, you will not have service in the mountain ranges. Now, when it comes to dinner, I personally went when there was a wedding going on, and everybody is very, very tight-knit in their communities, so everybody in the village goes because everybody knows everybody. I was personally invited by one of the family members of the groom, so I was able to go, and they were doing the tribal gong dances, which I, in fact, did join myself into. I absolutely loved it. Basically, they took cast iron skillets and wooden mallets and hit them in a particular rhythm so that everybody is included and they get to dance. So it was a really good time, really fun time. They go to sleep at around 2 o'clock in the morning and they are waking up by the sound of the chickens by 5 o'clock in the morning. There are rice terraces that are right on the other side and you can actually walk up into the rice terraces. I will also say for my coffee lovers out there, they have the best coffee that I have ever had in the world. Now, I like my coffee sweet. They happen to boil brown sugar into the coffee while it's boiling, let it sit, and then they will serve it the next day. Now, at first, it was an interesting concept to me because fresh coffee is always the best. However, they described it like pasta sauce. They said it's better the next day because it gets time to settle into the water. And my gosh, were they right. I mean, between the view and the coffee, it was the best morning experience that I had had in a very long time. Now, another big suggestion that I suggest to all of my first timers looking to go there, bring yourself toilet paper. They do not have toilet paper up there. It is not available for purchase at the gift shop. So if you want to be able to wipe, get it before you're on your way up to the village because they will not have it there. And it is no fun going up there and not preparing yourself. Now, trying to think of anything else that you might want to know of. I would highly suggest getting there back to the bus station very early in Bontoc the next day so that you have time to catch the bus. I did not schedule my bus for the next day, so it was completely full. I got there in time, but it was completely full by the time I got there, so I ended up having to take a secondary bus out to Sagada and saw the Hanging Coffins. If you want to do that, great, do it anyways. But when you arrive to be able to go up to Buscalan, purchase your seat, purchase your ticket for the bus ride for the next day or whenever you end up wanting to go back, so that you can guarantee that they will wait for you and they will ensure that you have a seat going back that next day. I would definitely suggest leaving it towards the end of your trip. If you're going for a month, if you're going for a couple weeks, whatever that may be, leave it for the end of your trip, because if you have a brand new fresh tattoo baking in the Philippine sun, it is not going to be a fun time. So don't do that. Do not go there, get the tattoo, and then go about your business. They don't even want you to go into the ocean, let alone that. I also suggest while you're in Bontoc, grabbing yourself some rubbing alcohol so that you can sterilize the thorn that they use, because they are not going to make it, they're not going to sterilize it for you. They're definitely not. And they will provide that for you for, I think 100 pesos, which is like $1.50. And the tattoos are going to be very low price. If you want a custom one, they will do a custom one for you. Generally what they do is they take a paper clip, they bend it, and then they stamp it to be able to get these straight lines that are on here. And then they're tattooing from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep for guests. I ended up waking up the next day and thought, while I'm here, I'm going to get a second tattoo. So I ended up getting a tattoo on my chest right here that stands for Faith, Hope, Love. I absolutely love this tattoo as well, even though it was a last second decision, but it was definitely 1000% worth it. And then when you're on your way back to Manila, again, make sure that you have booked your hotel back in Manila, because you will be arriving at around 6 o'clock at night. So you will have that exhaustion from riding in a bus all day, and you want nothing more than to find yourself your very own hotel room and fall asleep and don't have any concerns about it. So that is my basic story. Oh, I completely forgot about Apo Whang Od. So when I scheduled my appointment, they took me around and there was this big circle area that had a bunch of people with chairs set up watching Apo giving all of these tattoos. Now, if she does not feel well, she won't tattoo. So prepare yourself to have to stay an extra day just in case Apo does not feel up to tattooing the day that you decide to show up. Because they do not have any computers out there. They're not going to prepare a detailed schedule list. It's not like reserving a rental car. They're not like that. It's really go with the flow kind of effort and style. And we all sit down, she'll work down the line, and then each person will get their tattoo. They'll do a video of you getting the tattoo if you ask them, and then they always have a picture of you and Apo Whang Od at the end of you getting her tattoo, and then usually it's dinner time around that time or lunchtime. They always have food available. So if you're ready to go the 12 hours there, 12 hours back, and face no electricity for a while, then I very highly suggest doing it. I don't obviously seem like the kind of person surrounded by electronics to go out in the middle of the jungle and be with a remote village, but I surprise myself as much as other people. So again, my name is Sekanda, and if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section, and I'd be happy to try and answer a couple of things that the Google search probably won't answer for you. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all later.